CheeseHeavenTV, where cheese lovers unite. Today we're talking about a cheese that looks almost too poetic to be real. A small French goat cheese matured on a chestnut leaf. And in 2026, it officially became one of France's newest protected AOP cheeses. Its name is Mothais sur Feuille. And the big question is, why would Europe protect a tiny goat cheese on a leaf? Is this just romantic French marketing? Or is this one of the most beautiful examples of terroir, tradition, and cheese identity in the world? Before we start, follow CheeseHeavenTV here and on Instagram, and tell us in the comments which cheese you want to see next. Because this channel is built for real cheese lovers, from curious beginners to people who can smell raw milk. Cheese from across the room. Mothais sur Feuille comes from southern Poitou, in western France, a region with a long history of goat farming, small-scale dairy culture, local markets, and rural cheese traditions. The name Mothais refers to La Motte Saint-Héré and the surrounding Mothais area. And sur Feuille literally means on a leaf. So the name is almost brutally honest. This is the cheese from Mothais, on a leaf, but that leaf is not just decoration. It is one of the reasons this cheese is so special. This is a soft, lactic goat cheese made from whole raw goat's milk. It is formed into a flat round shape, dried, and then matured on a chestnut leaf. During that time, the leaf helps regulate moisture, shapes the surface of the cheese, and becomes part of its identity. Not an artificial label, not a marketing sticker, a real leaf. To understand Mothais sur Feuille, you need to understand one thing. This is not a fast cheese. This is a lactic goat cheese. That means the milk is not rushed into becoming cheese. The transformation is slower, more delicate, more dependent on acidity, time, and the natural life of the milk. The curd is gently formed, often handled with great care, and drained slowly. And that slow draining is important because Mothais sur Feuille is supposed to have a fine, smooth, melting paste, not rubbery, not dry, not sharp in a brutal way. At its best, it has that beautiful French goat cheese texture where the paste almost collapses on the tongue. Creamy, delicate, milky, yeasty, and then with age, deeper, more animal, more woody, sometimes with notes of straw, mushroom, undergrowth, and hazelnut. This is the kind of cheese that starts quietly and then becomes very serious. Now let's talk about the leaf. Because for many people, this is the hook. Why put cheese on a chestnut leaf? First, because the leaf helps manage moisture. A young goat cheese is fragile. Too much humidity, and it can become sticky, unstable, even unpleasant. Too little humidity, and it can dry out too aggressively. The chestnut leaf sits underneath the cheese and helps with that balance. It supports the maturation, helps preserve the soft texture, and contributes to the cheese's character. Second, the leaf gives the cheese its visual identity. When Mothais sur Feuille ripens, the underside of the cheese can keep the imprint of the leaf. That means the cheese carries a physical mark of its maturation. It is not just coal on a leaf. It has been shaped by the leaf. And third, the leaf is part of the emotion. Let's be honest. Cheese is not just chemistry. Cheese is culture. Cheese is memory. Cheese is place. When you see Mothais sur Feuille resting on that brown chestnut leaf, it immediately tells a story. Countryside, autumn, cellars, goats, raw milk, old markets, and people who cared enough to preserve a detail that could easily have disappeared. So why did this cheese receive AOP protection? AOP stands for Appellation d'Origine Protégée. In English, we usually say PDO, Protected Designation of Origin. And this matters because AOP means that a product is not just made in a certain style. It means the product is tied to a defined geographical area, a specific know-how, and controlled rules. For Mothais sur Feuille, the milk must come from the defined area. The cheese must be made there. It must be ripened there. And the method has to respect the official specification. That includes raw whole goat's milk. That includes maturation on a chestnut leaf. That includes a minimum maturation period. And it includes a connection to the local farming system, goats, feed, landscape, and regional know-how. This is the opposite of anyone can copy it anywhere. And that is exactly why AOP cheeses matter. They protect not just a recipe, but a place. Mothais sur Feuille is one of those cheeses that proves great cheese is about much more than flavor. On the surface, it's a small French goat cheese wrapped in a chestnut leaf. But behind that leaf is a story about tradition, law, farming, and identity. Recently, Mothais sur Feuille received AOP protection, one of the highest levels of food protection in Europe. And that matters because AOP is not just a marketing label. It is a legal framework that defines who can use the name, where the cheese can be made, and how it must be produced. Behind every protected cheese are years of discussions, regulations, negotiations, and producers working to preserve a tradition that could otherwise disappear. The cheese comes from the Poitou region of western France, an area with a long history of goat farming. For centuries, goats were practical animals for small farms, providing milk in landscapes where larger livestock were less suitable. Over time, local cheesemakers transformed that milk into cheeses that became part of the region's identity. And then there is the chestnut leaf. Unlike decorative packaging, this leaf serves a purpose. Traditionally, it helps protect the cheese, supports its delicate structure during aging, and contributes to the unique environment in which the cheese matures. It has become one of the defining symbols of Mothais sur Feuille. So what does it taste like? Young examples are fresh, creamy, and gently tangy, with soft, milky notes and a delicate texture. As the cheese ages, it develops greater complexity. You may notice earthy aromas, hints of mushroom, dry straw, nuts, and the deeper character that goat cheeses are famous for. It is not an aggressive cheese. It rewards patience and attention, and that is why this small cheese matters. In a world where more food is becoming standardized and industrialized, Mothais sur Feuille represents something different. It represents traceability, regional farming, traditional methods, and a strong connection to place. France did not simply protect another cheese. It protected a landscape, a farming tradition, a production method, and a piece of cultural heritage. Would you try Mothais sur Feuille? And do you think AOP protection preserves authenticity or makes food production too restrictive? Let me know in the comments. CheeseHeavenTV, where cheese lovers unite.